What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. We are here. We are at the end. If I could sing, I will be giving y'all some Is This the End a la New Edition. Well, we are at the final episode of Insecure. And let me just say this. Listen, I have been very critical of this season. I think part of my critical comments have come from the fact that I just didn't want it to end, okay? I don't think you could have made me happy about a lot of stuff because I didn't want it to end. But let me say this about the finale. Y'all don't owe me nothing. Y'all don't owe me nothing. I'm going to go ahead and get into this, but y'all don't owe me nothing. I'm just going to be honest with you, be real about the real. Y'all don't owe me nothing. So we start this episode off, with, we know last week we had the big fight between Nathan and Lawrence. And, it's that quiet ride home between Issa and Nathan. And they get to the house and Issa's like, Nathan, listen, come on in. Well, first, I think she thought he was going to come in. And when he didn't, act like he was going to get out the car, she was like, you're not coming in? He was like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and go home. And she was like, listen, let's talk about this. She said, let's come on in and let's talk. And Nathan was like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. Like tonight ain't the night. Like, it ain't a good idea for me to come in there and have a conversation with you tonight. And she was like, for real, Nathan, like, let's not sleep on it like this. Let's not leave things the way it is. Let's talk. And Nathan is like, you know what? Not only do I not really want to talk to you about it tomorrow, I think we really need to take a step back. Like, this isn't good for me. Like, I have, it's been a little voice in the back of my head telling me that this ain't right. And I haven't been listening to that little voice in the back of my head. And I just we need to take a step back. I don't think this is this is good for either one of us. And so, of course she's like, no, that's not what I want. Let's not do that. And he won't do it. You know what I mean? So she ends up going in the apartment. She gets a text from Lawrence saying, I'm really sorry about tonight. That's not how I wanted things to go. She picks up that good Ciroc bottle like she about to, drown her sorrows. And she decides not to. And we see her lay down on the couch. Sort of, we see her fall asleep. But we know that it was a long night and a whole lot of tears. The next morning she wakes up with Molly at the door. Molly on the spot. Molly got the good bottle of wine and food, okay? She knows what needs to happen. She got the good bottle of wine and the food. She opens up the door, realizes Issa still got on her clothes from the night before. She's like, oh, girl, that's what it is? And she was like, yeah, that's what it is. So she tells Molly, let me go in and take a shower. Maybe I'll feel a little bit better. And her alter ego was there to talk to her, And for the first time, there's really nothing the alter ego can say to make Issa happy, to make her smile. Can't even spit no bars, right? It's just not there. It's not working. And Issa's like, I really wish that I could just fast forward to where this is all okay again. I knew then what it was about to be. And I've been predicting this all season because I said this season is moving way too slow. I said we're going to have to do some time jumps in order to make this right. So what we ended up doing, we ended up going into a whole series of time jumps based around the birthdays. Now remember, last week's episode, the lady said that they were going to celebrate every birthday together. That's how they were going to maintain their friendship now that Tiffany was moving to Denver. And so they were going to make sure that they were there for each person's birthday. So the next birthday that pops up, we time jump to Molly. Molly's at her apartment. It's her birthday. She's meeting Torian's family. Her mom is there. Issa's there. Tiffany doesn't make it, but Kelly is there, and we meet Kelly. Kelly got a man, right? It's taking Molly forever to come out her room. It's taking her forever to come outside. Come out to the apartment where the rest of the people are. And Issa goes in there to check on her. And Molly's dealing with that insecurity of, listen, I know that generally I screw it up. I get to a place, we here meeting each other's families and stuff. And I know I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for me to screw this up, And Issa gives her the pep talk. Issa lets her know, girl, you got this. Like, he loves you. You love him. Y'all are in a good place. We find out that he did make partner. He absolutely did make partner. And Molly ends up coming out, and it's cool. Like I said, we meet Kelly's new man, and we see that everybody is getting along well, right? Actually, I take that back. Tiffany did make it. I'm sorry. Tiffany did make it. They asked Tiffany how things were going in Denver, and you could tell things ain't going that great. You could tell she's kind of like, ooh, things aren't going that well in Denver. But she doesn't, to her credit, she doesn't want to make it about her. She doesn't want to mess it up. She kind of lets it go. So then the next person's birthday is Issa. Her assistant tricks her. We find out that she is working with Crenshaw, right? So that's the decision that she made. And they trick her into coming down to the warehouse because they said a pipe is busted. Which of course, and she gets there and she doesn't. Molly got this bad shirt on. Molly, listen, whoever Molly's stylist is don't owe me nothing either. Okay, Molly has been ragging from season 1. Okay, Tiffany doesn't make it to Issa's birthday. Tiffany's not there. We see Molly and the assistant are actually getting along, right? They are actually getting along. They work together to plan Issa's surprise party, right? So they trying to hook Issa up, with the eligible men in the room, and Issa tries to do it for herself, and it don't work out. Kelly shows up with her man. Okay, Kelly still got her man. Issa's brother is there, and Kelly and the brother are still doing what they do. Okay, they are still doing what they do. Okay. Later on in the evening, who comes through? Nathan. They said that it's in lieu of birthday gifts, they asked everybody to make a donation to Crenshaw, to the project, and so Nathan came through with donations from the barbershop. And they're actually able to go out and have a whole conversation and talk about basically their relationship. Like, it's not a let's get back together. It's this is the conversation we probably should have had. This is the closure that we should have had. And, they both agree that, listen, both of us are good people. We're not bad people. We just weren't the right people for each other. But it was it was good. Like, they, again, I think for the Nathan stands, it gave them the closure that at least gave them some closure. Because I win. But anyway, it gave them some closure. We see Issa kind of hook up with a dude that night, nice looking guy, right? Somebody that but it was just, we know it's just a temporary situation, because it's clear from the way Kelly and Molly are talking that she's not allowing herself, she's not really dating, she's not really going out and doing things, but again, the Nathan moment is what we all needed. It's what Issa needed, and it's what we needed as fans. Okay. Then the next birthday we get to is Tiffany's birthday, and the ladies do fly out to Denver. All of them fly out to Denver to see Tiffany, and we find out that Tiffany is living a good life, but she is not happy. They have a beautiful home that they have purchased. They are homeowners. Beautiful home, but we found out that Tiffany is still not working, that her husband's family hasn't been very supportive. She said, after the first couple of months of us being out here, the novelty sort of wore off, and then so that's kind of not really there. She was like, my daughter is like the only black girl in her school, so it's just she's just not happy, and the ladies are giving her the pep talk and letting her know, girl, it's okay. You just got to find your niche. You just got to find that thing. You have to find your place, but it's going to be okay. Like, you're going to figure it out. And while they're there, Molly gets the phone call letting her know that her mom died. Okay. And that was a whole moment because Molly gave us that. Okay. Yvonne gave us that moment of that phone call coming through. Okay. Molly gave us that moment. Okay. So we saw that, and that's sort of how that birthday ended. Unfortunately, Issa is dating somebody. We find that out as well, that Issa got a little man, little boo thing or whatever. Sorry. Then the next birthday is Kelly's birthday. So we get to Kelly's birthday, and Molly is not there. We, of course, we get the impression that they've been reaching out to her, they've been trying to talk to her, but she's been sort of off the grid, still processing and dealing with the fact that her mom is gone or what have you. But it's Kelly's birthday. Looks like they're having a nice little dinner party at a nice restaurant. Issa shows up with her new little man. He's a cute little chocolate thing. He cute, whatever. Um, no, rewind, pause. Before we get to that, it's Lawrence's birthday. And we see Lawrence talking to his family. We see him and, Cotton Candy are still doing the co-parenting thing. They're still in a good place with the co-parenting situation. And then Issa actually ends up calling Lawrence. And it's awkward, because, of course, it's out of the blue. And Lawrence is kind of like, so thank you for the birthday wish. And she was like, well, listen, I know it's sort of short notice, but, I was wondering if I could take you out for your birthday. And he was like, well, I kind of do already have plans. And she was like, oh, okay, well, don't worry about it. No problem, no problem, no problem. And we find out that, Lawrence got a little boo thing now, right? Lawrence got a little boo thing. And so, that sort of ended a little awkwardly for, Issa. Then we get to Kelly's birthday. And like I said, Issa got a little boo. And we're at Kelly's birthday. And like I said, Molly isn't there. And we, like I already said, we know that she's been reaching out to Molly. Molly's not answering the phone. She hasn't been able to get in touch with Molly. But everybody understands why Molly ain't there, Tiffany is there. Tiffany got new hair, honey. Tiffany don't have on the blonde. I think that is the first time in 5 seasons that we have not seen Tiffany in blonde hair. That is interesting. I think there's some symbolism there that we can dig deeper into at a later date and at a later time. But Kelly is pregnant. And so, they were like, well, Kelly, you said you never wanted to be a parent. She was like, I didn't, I didn't want to be a parent, but, this is just a blessing. And, I didn't know that I would be so excited. I didn't know that this would fulfill me. I didn't know that this is what I needed in my life. So no, I didn't want to be a parent, but I'm so excited for this next chapter. I'm so happy. And of course, her and Tiffany are so excited about the next chapter for them. They were like, oh, our kids can grow up together. Oh, your daughter is going to be the older woman to my man. And, it was really, really sweet. And you definitely saw the growth. Kelly said, I had an epiphany after I died. And they were like, Tiffany's husband was like, you didn't die. And she was like, can you let her have this? Like, can you let her have this? She died. Can you let her have it? So, then we see Issa at her apartment, honey, getting all sexified in her lingerie with her new man, okay? And they about to get it in. They about to have themselves a whole moment. And who ends up calling? Lawrence. And her alter ego tells her, girl, what you better not do is pick up that phone. You better not pick up that phone. And she was like, why can't I? She was like, what you mean? Because you got that whole beautiful man waiting for you in the next room ready to dick you down. You can't be answering the phone to no Lawrence and killing the mood. Girl, whatever he want, it can wait till tomorrow. You better go on and take that. You better go on and get it. Go on and get it. And so she doesn't answer the phone. She goes on and she goes on and takes the call or whatever. I mean, doesn't take the call, excuse me. And she goes in there with her man. So then we see Molly. We see Issa and Molly. It is Molly's birthday. And so it's been a full year because it's Molly's birthday again. And she's just talking about, Torian has a nice surprise planned for her. Issa knows what it is, but she won't tell Molly. And he's taking her away to celebrate her birthday. And Molly is just talking about how hard it's going to be for her to do it without her mom. How hard is it going to be? She said she was just here last year. I just think about last year and how she was with me when I was celebrating my birthday and how much I miss her and just how hard this is going to be for me. We see that her and Kelly are working together. They opened up an estate. Her law firm opened up an estate planning division, and Kelly is working in that division now. So we see, professionally where Kelly is growing. Issa is moving into her own space. She has her own office space. So again, we see how she's growing and moving into her own office space. And So, later on that night, um, Molly sort of encourages her to call Lawrence, right? Um, you know, so we see Lawrence. Well, Molly encourages her to live for today, the carpe diem, right? She don't really say call Lawrence, but that's what she told Issa to do, right? So we see Issa at her office space later on that night, and who come knocking? Who come through? Lawrence. And awkwardly Issa, talking about let me give you the tour, and of course the tour consists of about 2 seconds of her showing him around the space, and she was like, I might have oversold the tour a little bit. And then, they sort of kind of give each other that look, and then Issa starts talking, right? And Issa starts talking about how, because he was saying, look how far you came from, we got you, we got y'all to where you are now. And she starts talking about how, she always doubted herself. Like, through everything, through all of the situations, she always doubted herself. And when she realized that the only person that was doubting her was herself. And she said she had to, finally make up her mind and finally come to the conclusion that she needed to believe in herself, and she needed to go and take a leap of faith and take a chance on herself and just have faith that it will all work out. And as she's talking, you realize that she ain't talking about her professional life anymore. She's sort of now getting into some other things and talking about some other things now. And so Lawrence gives her a look, and he was like, so do you believe that it'll all work out? Do you have faith that this is it? This is the right move? And she's like, yeah. And baby, they get to kissing. And of course, it has to be, he has to be, of course, awkward. You know what I mean? So they get it in on the desk, and she ends up knocking stuff over on the desk, but baby, they get into it, okay? And then we fast forward another year later, so now we're 2 years from where we started, and we're at a wedding. And I'm thinking, I knew it wasn't gonna be Issa and Lawrence's wedding. It is Molly and Torian's wedding, and Molly is a beautiful bride. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bride, right? And of course, the bridesmaids are who we expect the bridesmaids to be. And Tiffany is pregnant. She's still not rocking blonde. She still got her regular, hair. And it is a beautiful wedding. And, they're having a good time. And they are so happy. You can see that they're so happy. And, we just keep, we see the husbands, and we see, we see them do their first dance. We see her dance with her dad. She has a picture of her mom there in memory of her mom. And, it's a moment. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful moment. And we see Kelly sitting with her man. We see Tiffany sitting with her man. Issa sitting by herself, right? And you like, I know Lawrence there somewhere. And who come with some champagne? Lawrence, rolling up on Issa. And he was like, you okay? And she was like, that's my girl. And he was like, you gonna be all right. Let's dance. And so we had this whole moment where they're out on the dance floor and everybody's dancing, and it's cute, right? It's a moment. They all getting it in. And you see Issa and Lawrence, they're together, they're in love, baby. They're together, they're in love. And later on that night, you see Molly and Issa having that girl talk, and she's helping her get her dress off, doing her maid of honor duties, helping her get the dress off. And they get to talking about how much they love each other, and they get to crying. And I said, in that moment, they were no longer Issa and Molly, they were Issa and Yvonne, right? You saw this, it was the snot cry. It was that deep, down in my gut, I'm gonna miss you girl cry. Like, it just hit me that this is the end for us cry. Like, oh my gosh, no more insecure cry. Like, I think we was all crying with them. Like, it was real. It was a real, from the pits of hell cry, okay? So then the next scene, we see Issa being a boss bitch down at her office that is now fully set up. She got people working for her. She got a whole staff, honey. She is doing the damn thing. And it's her birthday again, right? It is her birthday again. We see her leave her office. We see her jump into her Lexus, okay? And then we see her driving, presumably on her way home, right? And as she's driving on her way home, we see her passing by all the landmarks that we have grown to love throughout the 5 years of Insecure. We see her go by the we got you off the we got y'all offices. She drive by Crenshaw's. She drives by the Dunes. She drives by the Rite Aid. Now you got to be a day one to remember that Rite Aid. Okay, go back to season 1 to remember the Rite Aid. She drives by the guy in the Rite Aid parking lot has on a Best Buy polo on, of course. Old nod to Lawrence of a la season 1, right? We see her driving to this nice house, honey. Open up the door and Lawrence is in there with Mufasa. And they made a cake for Issa. And Issa is in her full stepmommy mode, okay? And they get ready to take Mufasa home so Lawrence can take his boo thing out. And there's a scene where Issa is putting on her lip gloss, and if you didn't, you might have missed it, but she got a whole rock on her finger. Now, I don't know if it's an engagement ring or wedding ring, but it don't matter. That lets you know that the commitment is real, okay? The commitment is real. Baby, and that's where we left off. Listen, y'all don't owe me nothing, because y'all gave me what I wanted. Y'all gave me some closure. Y'all let me know what happened with these people, okay? And Lawrence. That's all I wanted. I'm happy, okay? Insecure, it was a good run. I'm sorry it had to end, but y'all don't owe me nothing. Peace.